Today we're going to do Swedish pancakes. This recipe comes from my grandmother, and that's 75 years plus. That's how old this recipe is. And I know there's newer versions of Swedish pancakes, and I know that a lot of people put sugar and things like that. But this is the recipe that we were raised on, my mother was raised on, my grandmother was raised on, and my kids was raised on. So I'll show you how it goes. First, 3 eggs. I use large eggs. You can use medium-sized eggs. It doesn't really matter, I don't think. I never swayed much from this recipe. I've never changed it except for one thing, and I'll show you what that is. So 3 eggs. Now we're going to use some milk. I use 2% in this. And I'm just going to put a little bit of it in the beginning. And it's a total of 2.5 cups of milk. But I'm just going to stir this up right now with a little bit in it. You just want to get those eggs really, you don't want lumps in this batter because the pancakes are so thin. Then I'm going to add the rest of my milk. And this batter is going to be very, very thin. Now I'm going to put in 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And what was this now? 3/4 cup of flour. Now I use sifted flour. All-purpose flour will do, bread flour will do, cake flour will do. It's all good. You just want to make sure that this is really, really smooth. It's not your traditional pancake, so you really want this batter smooth. I'm going to do it with a hand whisk first, and then I'll switch to my blender. 3 tablespoons of melted butter. This is cooled off too, so I don't have to worry about that. And what I've done over the years, because I like this flavor, but this isn't how it was originally done, is I use my homemade vanilla, and I put 1/2 teaspoon of my homemade vanilla, and it just gives it that really, that really beautiful taste. So now you're going to have your batter really soupy, and it's got a lot of clumps in there from the flour. A lot. So most people put it in a blender. Some people do it by hand. I do it with a hand blender. So I'm going to beat this up until it's really nice and smooth, and then I'll come back. Just letting my pan get warm. I've got it on medium-high. Now this is an old pan, very old pan. It's on its last legs, but for some reason, Swedish pancakes love this pan. So I put my batter in a measuring cup, a pouring measuring cup. I stir it frequently because the flour is going to hit the bottom and it's just going to sit there. So hopefully this is hot enough. And I'm just going to roll it around. That's all I'm going to do. I'm going to roll that batter around and let it sit. I may turn down the heat. It depends. You really have to watch this because it goes quite quickly. You don't want to burn the underside. Pretty delicate actually. But what I was saying about the sugar, I got sugar on the brain now. We've never put sugar in this recipe, maybe because it's an old recipe, and you know, sugar was really expensive back then. It was a luxury to have. You'd have to be pretty privileged to have sugar, you know, 75 plus years ago. And another reason I think my mother, when my mother got the recipe, never added sugar and things like that is because we traditionally eat Swedish pancakes with jams and sugar on top, or lingonberries, or something really sweet on top. That's what we've always done. So I guess there was never any need for us to put sugar in our family anyway. So the rule of thumb is the first one that you make never works out. It just doesn't work out. I'm 45 years old. My first pancake of the batch never works. So if that happens today, we're going to just mark that in time, because that will be the first. It's starting to get golden around the edges now. Let's see if that's ready. It looks ready. I know the centerpiece isn't ready though, because I can see it kind of popping up. So I'm going to push that down a little bit. Now this is not a crepe recipe. This is an old-fashioned Swedish pancake recipe. So we'll see how this one goes. Cross your fingers. Oh my good Lord. Not bad. Not bad. Awesome. Now I'm even more excited about pancakes. Why am I excited? Because Swedish pancakes rock. That's why I'm excited. And that's it. There's your Swedish pancake. You don't want it really, you know, super dark. What I do to get it on a plate faster, without any breakage, hopefully, is I just flip it into corners. That's awesome. So I'm going to do it again. I'm sure you don't need to be shown again, but I'll do one more. I'm going to stir my batter, because it will definitely sit on the bottom. You can hear that sizzle. And I'm going to roll it around. Barely enough to cover the bottom. You can see the hole straight through, but it will fill in. Just got to be patient. The stovetop's set at 7 at this point. As I make more pancakes, I may have to turn down the heat. You just have to watch your settings on this. And it also helps to spray your utensils with cooking spray every now and again. I can't wait to eat these. These go so quick in my house. I could make 5 batches and they'll be gone in one day. So now that the pan is heated up a little bit more, it's going a little bit quicker. And I'm going to try to release that center and flip. There you go. Nice and golden. I'll show you how we traditionally eat it in our house. And some people put syrup on it. I know, some of my kids' friends and things, they do the traditional syrup on pancakes things. But back home, and most of our family anyway, we usually put lingonberry on it, or any kind of jam. There's black jam, blackberry jam, strawberry, raspberry, you name it. We put it on there, and it's usually quite sweet. And I usually always put strawberry jam in mine, and then we top it off with, and I usually just do halfway. And I usually top it off with some sugar. Now if you don't like sugar, look away, because this is going to be a lot of sugar. Yep, a lot of sugar. Just a little bit. Well, a lot. And then we roll them up. I know that sounds kind of weird, but we actually roll them up and we put them on our plate like that. And then we go ahead and do another one. And we usually have two each, 3 each, depends on how hungry we are. They don't last long. And these are so delicious. These are so unbelievably delicious. And a little bit of sugar. Well, a lot of sugar. Okay, a lot. And we roll it up. And that's how we eat Swedish pancakes. Oh, I can't wait to eat these. And that's it. Voila! Swedish pancakes in the middle of the afternoon. 2 o'clock in the morning. Doesn't really matter, they're good always. And I'm just gonna get a knife and cut into these. For some reason, they taste better when they're rolled up. Don't know why, they just are. And that's how we do it. Easy peasy. Give it a try. Till next time. Hey, dough.